So we are a business that helps sales and marketing teams really increase their revenue by aligning the two teams and arming them with the right materials and information that they need to sell more effectively. So if you're a salesperson, you're going to be talking to your buyers. So we help you really understand which buyers are showing the most interest by sensing all the email and communication you have back and forth. So we can help you prioritize where you put your effort. We use a lot of AI, artificial intelligence, to get that job done. We use some big data techniques and tools to do that. We've pivoted and kind of reinvented ourselves over the years. So I actually started the business back in '90. And we got into multimedia for some of the bigger companies on the Space Coast, like Harris and Boeing and those types of guys. And over time, some of my customers challenged me to get it more into the management of resources, documents, presentations. So we came up with an automated solution. And that's kind of taken us into the software industry. And we've been in that industry for about the last 20 years. The head of marketing at Harris, he was probably about 96, 97, 96, challenged me with a business problem they were having, which was managing all the materials that they used to present to clients. And he said, isn't there some way you can automate this? And so we set out on that task of automating, went through several iterations, but came out with a pretty good product by '99 that would act as almost a visual card catalog for all your slides and pages and things like that. And Adobe was our first big customer, and they made us do it with a PDF format. And after that, we were off to the races. We got Merrill Lynch, UBS, and a whole bunch of financials who found that technology and those capabilities really interesting. In the SaaS business, you got to be growing at pretty substantial rates to be highly valuated, to have any chance of selling it for good money in the future. So we're really trying to get our sales and marketing and our growth engine in place. We've been a lifestyle company for many, many years, but now we're trying to get into this growth mode, and it's been real fun. It's been a lot of fun moving from kind of a carefully crafted growth strategy to more of a chaotic, let's really grow this thing up. We've had many close calls throughout our life cycle here at Accent. I think the biggest one was making that initial transition from being a service company with several really big, reliable customers over to being a software company. So Harris at one point moved to Harris Semiconductor, then to Intersil, and then got acquired by a company out in California. And my key contact for many years there warned me, said, hey, you got about another year. You better figure out some other way to make money other than being our main provider. And so we had to really make that software go from kind of an experimental thing to going out to the real world and selling it and relying on that source. So that transition from being service to a real software company was a very challenging, difficult one. The biggest challenge we had, I think, was probably during the 2008 downturn. Nobody was buying anymore. Luckily, we were able to have a strategy of focusing on our big customers, and we were able to grow revenue every year during that Great Recession. And it was through our strategy of just focusing on the big customers and not letting us get distracted. They were able to maintain our software and keep giving us the business through those really rough years. So when we first started selling software, it was the traditional install model. But that model quickly gave way to the software as a service model. So we were one of the early adopters of that model. So in 2006, we made the decision to shift over to software as a service, whereas they just buy a subscription. And they either get an annual or monthly subscription, and they can use your software. So it's housed in our data center. They just sign up, they can use it. And so we made that transition early, and glad we did. So I have a lot of good support, got a big family, four brothers, one sister. They've all been very supportive over the years. My parents were very supportive. So it's been a really good support system. My wife is super supportive. Been with the company since '98, so she's very knowledgeable. Probably has closed more business than anybody in the company, and remains today probably one of the most product knowledgeable people in our company. And it's just a really good person. Everybody enjoys working with her and benefits from her experience. One area where we do participate quite a bit is with this entrepreneurial organization called Groundswell. And it helps people that, have the aspiration to want to, get into business and grow a business. And so we try to participate. We actually help fund that organization. So that's our way of trying to give back to what we've been able to receive from the community and all the support we've got over the years. There was a time in the early 2000s before the bubble hit, before the bubble crash of the internet bubble. I was up in Pittsburgh talking to a pretty prominent ad agency called Ketchum. And I was pitching our product and telling them about it, trying to get some support, maybe get some leads from them. And there was one naysayer in the crowd. And he kept saying, I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think it's sustainable. And I tell this story all the time. That one guy has probably driven me more to achieve goals and really succeed than I think any other thing. I think back to that all the time, and I love when people tell me I can't do something. That personally spurs me on to really try to get it done. In my family, my mom would always support me. And unfortunately, I lost her early when I was 9, but she was a real inspiration for me. I remember doing carnivals with her, things like that would really draw up my entrepreneurial spirit. But that's probably what got me going. And I think I've always known I wanted to run my own business. And I would say that before you jump in and run your own business, you probably want to make sure that's what you want to do.